We're providing some information on the CMSA awards as well as the foundation awards today, and the importance of recognizing not only yourselves, but also your peers. So we know that everyone has within themselves the ability to do wonderful things, and sometimes we just need to be reminded that we do have those abilities. So first we're going to talk about CMSA's awards, and these include the Case Manager of the Year, the Award of Service Excellence, and the CMSA Chapter Innovation Awards. So we know that everybody likes recognition, even as children, from the time we were children on, we like to be recognized. So that's the importance behind submitting. When we recognize our achievements or those of our peers, that gives us more motivation to engage in our work, and it pushes us to be even better. So when we talk about what means the most to us, we love being recognized by our employer. That's important. But being recognized by our peers means even more, I think, is even better. There was a company called O.C. Tanner, and that company studies employee engagement, and they found that the most important work driver was recognition. But again, being recognized by peers came up, surpassed just even being recognized by an employer. So these are the three things we're going to talk about with CMSA awards. So when we look at Case Manager of the Year and the Award of Service Excellence, so these are some of the criteria. So our CMOI is someone who's made significant contributions, that they've demonstrated dedication, they have vision for case management going forward. They have the qualities that are needed to encourage others to develop their own gifts and promote leadership. And they also have a commitment to continuing to be involved in shaping case management in the healthcare industry. The Award of Service Excellence is for a practicing case manager who exemplifies what we all look for in case management. They demonstrate innovation and creativity, collaboration and resourcefulness. Their day-to-day practice has actually made an impact on the field. They've contributed to the greater good for not just their clients, but also for our case management community. So we want you to think about who that might be in your chapter, in your company, another colleague that demonstrates all of these attributes. And sometimes people meet criteria for both CMOI and AOSE. So if you think that they could meet either criteria, we would encourage you to complete an application for both. One of the things that's really important about these awards is that letters of recommendation are required for both. So if you are thinking of nominating someone, get those letter requests in first before you complete the application. Because sometimes that takes a while because you're asking someone to take time out of their day to draft a letter. We also want you to pay close attention to the directions, to the instructions in filling out the awards, the award applications. Read through those instructions first before you start filling out any application. It'll just make things clearer for you. So the Chapter Excellence and Innovation Awards, there's multiple categories. Chapters can apply for any or all of these subsections of the Chapter Excellence Awards. These recognize chapters that have done something, have produced something that demonstrates value to the industry, to their chapter. So think about some of the chapter activities that you may have participated in. Did you have a really good local conference? Did you have educational offerings that attracted bigger crowds, larger audiences, that you got lots of compliments on? Did your chapter create eye-catching collateral to promote education or a conference? Have you increased your membership? Was there a campaign that you put together that resulted in that increased membership? If your chapter was struggling, but now they're flourishing or they're on their way to being flourishing, those are the things we want you to think about when you when you do these applications. It's important for our chapters to let their other chapters, their fellow chapters, know that what you're doing, because you could certainly be an inspiration to some of the other chapters. And when we talk about the CMSA Foundation Awards, a primary foundation endeavor is to support the development of educational resources and raise awareness regarding healthcare policy and practice, how it affects the role of the professional case manager, and impacts population health. So we have applications for our grant and our 2 awards on the CMSA website, and this is the address that those applications can be found. So we know that the last 2 years, more than 2 years now, have been a significant challenge. We've all had to shift to new and different processes to deliver case management services to our clients. So what have you what has your organization done to better manage things during the pandemic? I'm sure processes have changed. Have those changed processes been successful? Maybe more successful than you imagined? Have you been studying the impact of case management interventions and processes that result in improved health outcomes for your patient populations? You may not think about all these things that have been done recently, but they could potentially be, appropriate for a process improvement or a research award. So we want you to think about those kinds of things. Our grant is the Margaret Leonard Public Policy Grant, a legacy grant that Peggy Leonard started. And the purpose of the grant is to promote public policy awareness about and on professional case management practice. And we do that by communicating with our legislators, whether it's on the local, state, or national level, to get the topics that we find important to be supported by CMSA. So these are opportunities for grassroots programs that members can participate in to bring about some awareness. We know that government plays a major role in population health. Laws, regulations, and policy influence how we practice. The intent of this grant is to assist an individual, and the grant is meant for an individual, not a company or a chapter or an organization, to create a method to effectively promote and raise awareness of CMSA's mission and its values regarding public policy. These issues include transitions of care, care coordination, and/or other case management topics supported by CMSA's impact on case management practice. The foundation is going to be partnering with the Public Policy Committee and to bring some more awareness to their 3 issues that they're going to be focusing on. And those 3 issues could very well be potential grant activities. The Research Award is one that we really, really strongly believe in because case management research is not, very, not very popular or not published well. And there's so much that case managers do to reduce fragmented care, to improve the quality of care, and to impact cost that we believe there needs to be more research in the field of case management. Hospitals seem to be about the only ones who do research that's considered under case management, but it's almost always related to readmissions. So most research in healthcare is conducted to compare the effectiveness and safety of a treatment of a particular disease or condition, but they're not always designed to compare findings of two or more alternative approaches. So, for example, random control trials are the most common framework to compare a treatment to a placebo, let's say. But these don't often find recommended alternatives. Comparative effectiveness research is also a framework that examines evidence for individual recommendations or for those for a population. So comparative effectiveness research frameworks seem to be a good one to use for case management research. Hopefully the result of increasing research in case management practice will result in tools that can measure effectiveness, will result in new practices and processes that will not just, show impact for the individual who submitted the research, but for all of our peers and colleagues. The Case Management Process Improvement Award is meant to recognize an individual or an organization that has demonstrated improvement in patient outcomes. We as case managers assess, reassess, we plan, we monitor, we revise. And like I said earlier, the pandemic has forced all of us to look at how we were working with clients and patients, and it required shifts in processes. We know that everyone is doing great things. So this is an opportunity to recognize your organization and show an impact to all of us in the case management industry. We have individuals who have received this award. They include individuals and organizations. So we just want everyone to know that the foundation welcomes grant applications and these award applications to demonstrate all the good things that case managers are doing. So we just wanted to share some best practices about your application process. Always review any award criteria or grant criteria before you begin completing an application. The CMSA awards are done online, so it's an online application, so it's even more important to make sure your information is organized. Make sure that all the criteria had met before you submit. Be sure to use good grammar as well as spelling. Use that spell check. Something that will get an application rejected is poor grammar and spelling errors. Make sure that your objectives are clearly stated and results are summarized. So the CMOI and AOSC are online submissions. The foundation awards have to be downloaded and submitted via email. Be sure, again, I'm just going to reiterate this, to write in complete sentences and spell check. Make sure all the information on your application is complete. Give examples of your results or your successes. You should really consider the application process like you're writing a research paper. And make sure you give yourself ample time to complete the application based on when the award deadline is. And all of the awards do have deadlines. For grant information, it's especially important to include your funding, your budget, how you're going to use your budget, your promotional materials. Make sure you include examples of those things when you make the grant application. Be sure all your reference letters are there and included with the application. So these are the deadlines for submission. Case Manager of the Year is February 14th. Award for Service Excellence is also February 14th. And Chapter Excellence and Innovation Awards are due March 1st. The grant application for the Margaret Leonard Public Policy Grant is January 31st. The Case Management Research Award is March 1st. And the Case Management Process Improvement Award deadline is also March 1st. So if anyone has any questions, we'll be happy to take those now. No questions?
I don't see any in the chat right at the second. Any questions or comments, helpful hints? We got a great review.
Oh, good.
From Melanie.
Oh, thank you, Melanie.
And from Mark.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Well, be sure to share with your chapters that this PowerPoint is going to be available. We did record the session, so folks that couldn't make it today, that are maybe thinking about awards, can access it in the library.
And one thing to just reiterate that the CMSA awards are going to be online. There's an online submission similar to the call for paper submission, and if you have done a submission for a board nomination or something like that. But we have created a guide that you can download so you can prepare before you sit down and do the submission. So take some time to read through that, and then of course you can always call us or email us with any questions. Okay, Becky, good job. Thank you guys.
Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you.